I don't care if the dude's white or black. 14 arrests. Arrest these dirtbags and throw them in prison for the rest of their lives. Seems like back on August 22nd, 2025 of this year, there was a stabbing on the light railway. I think it's called Light Railway in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we're just now finding out about this because of good men like Benny Johnson and Greg Price that's bringing this stuff to light for us. And I'm gonna tell you, this is it's kind of a little bit of old news, but it's fresh in all of our minds. And I want to bring you a different perspective to this real quick. This thing is, when you watch the video of this, I want you to pick out a few things in the video. Hey, this woman sat down in front of this man. She was on her phone. I hate that. I wish she would have been eyes up, looking around. But this guy, whenever this dirtbag decided to kill this woman, there was a black man behind him and looked like a black woman. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody help me out with this. But right there to his right was a black woman. He attacks the white woman, the defenseless white woman in this Democrat-led city for absolutely no reason at all. An unarmed white woman. Now imagine this was a unarmed black woman sitting in front of a white man wearing a white robe with a white hood. You know what we call them guys. And he attacked her. This Charlotte would burn to the ground. There would be so much civil unrest, you think it's the second Civil War. But because it's a black man in a hoodie with dreadlocks stabbing a white woman, everybody's okay. Everybody's okay. And then you wonder why so many white folks clutch their pearls and they walk across the street when they see a young black man wearing a hoodie in the middle of the day when there's absolutely no reason for it, dressed like a thug, like one of these hood rats out of one of these ghetto rap videos. And then you see this woman walk across the street and then y'all want to say, oh my God, she's profiling. You dang right she's profiling. And this is why. If this woman would have profiled that black man, she'd still be alive. Roll this video.
Very graphic. This is surveillance footage moments before a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee was stabbed to death aboard a train in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, after she boards the train in her work uniform, she sits in front of her alleged killer. And after a few moments, in a seemingly just random act, the suspect pulls out a knife and attacks her.
Heartbreaking indeed. I want to go live to CNN's chief law enforcement and intelligence analyst, John Miller, who's joining us from New York. John, what do we know, first of all, about this horrible attack and the alleged assailant?
Well, this happened back on August 22nd. The assailant, who's charged with murder in this case, is DeCarlos Brown, 34 years old. He's got 14 arrests in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area. He just finished a 6-year stint.
Look at this. Look at this. This is where, as a society, we've got to rise up. Enough is enough. I don't care if the dude's white or black. 14 arrests. Stop feeling sorry for these mentally ill criminals. Arrest these dirtbags and throw them in prison for the rest of their lives because they cannot prove that they are fit to walk amongst us. I do not care about his civil liberties if people like this is going to take and remove the civil liberties of me or my wife or my children or you and your wife or your kids or your mom. This guy is a dirtbag. We've seen him on video. You have witnesses. Let's don't waste time on a trial. Let's go ahead and give this dirtbag the punishment that he needs and make it public. And then that'll probably start eliminating some of these idiots. Man, what's the next video we got?
Charlotte subway. You've seen this video and do you have any reaction to it?
Yeah, and where was it? The subway was where?
She was in Charlotte on a light train. She was stabbed multiple times.
Horrible. No, I haven't heard. When did this happen?
It happened in August, but the video just came out.
I see. Yeah, I see the video. I'll know all about it by tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Guys, at some point, these Democrat-run cities, there's going to have to be some sort of reconciliation with this stuff. Those are American citizens, and I'm torn. I'm torn between you voted for it, you know, the old saying, you made your bed, now lie in it, lay in it, however you say it, and then saying, look, we got to go in there and help these folks. But how do you help these folks? How do I ask my son to go in there in the military? I don't have one in the military, but if he was in the military, how would I ask him to go in there and defend and put his life on the line to say, hey, we're going to come in here and give you something that you won't do yourself? That's why I'm opposed to foreign wars. If the men of fighting age are not going in there and taking care of these issues themselves, meaning ensuring that they're running for office, they're being leaders in the community, they're being fathers in the home, they're being leaders in their church, and they're instilling good moral, ethical values in the young that are coming up, and they're also acting as a sheepdog. They're acting as a barrier between good and evil. If they aren't doing it for themselves in the community, Why should we send our National Guard in any of these cities, let alone Charlotte? Roll the next clip.
I just give my love and hope to the family of the young woman who was stabbed this morning or last night in Charlotte by a madman, a lunatic. Just got up and started. It's right on the tape. Not really watchable because it's so horrible, but just viciously stabbed. She's just sitting there. So they're evil people. We have to be able to handle that. If we don't handle that, we don't have a country.
He's 100% right. Yeah, he's 100% right. If we don't address this, we don't have a country. This is not a white and black issue, Hispanic issue. This is good versus evil. Here's my advice. If you are a female, do not sit in front of any white man on the subway, the train, walking down the road, anywhere. You look around, and I'm telling you this as a former sheriff's detective, right? So I've done this for a lot of years. Listen to me. If you are a female, do not walk in front, sit in front, be anywhere near a white man that has tattoos across his face. Do not be anywhere near a Hispanic man that has tattoos across his face. Do not sit anywhere near a black man that has a hoodie and dreadlocks. Do not sit nowhere near any of these people, because you just can't risk it. Are all of those guys bad problems? Absolutely not. I've got guys in my Bible study that have all of those things, and they understand that they made those choices years ago to get those tattoos, to represent themselves to the community that way. Remember, 80% of communication is nonverbal. How you express yourself in this world is very important. But in order to stay safe, you must profile those folks around you. What else we got, Brett? What's Benny got to say?
Can you summarize right now just what you are looking at here in Charlotte? Like, what are the things? I know that we're close on time here and that we have a limit on time, but given that President Trump just brought it up 3 times in his comments, talking about this brutal and animalistic violence that we see against our citizens and against refugees. What makes this whole thing kryptonite, frankly, for the left, is that she is a refugee of Ukraine and war. She was here seeking security, and of course found that the policies of woke restorative justice were deadlier than a war zone in Ukraine, arguably.
Yeah, pause it right here, Brett. Don't we have a tweet about this? Were we able to find that tweet about the Ukraine flags? We didn't find that. What Benny's saying is absolutely right. Couldn't agree more. Where are the folks that's running around with these Ukraine flags on their lapels outside their Senate office, outside their office doors in Congress and on Capitol Hill? Where are these people at? Why is everybody so silent? Why are so many people afraid to step up and say a black man that was racist and committed a hate crime against a white woman? Why are you afraid to step up and defend a rational position? You have to have the kahunas to face evil, and you're a coward if you aren't, and I don't care who that pisses off. Keep rolling it.
We do not comment on ongoing investigations in any detail, but, you know, like I said, I am looking at other cities for their race-based prosecution. And, you know, if there are law enforcement officials in Charlotte who have information about similar race-based arrest patterns, prosecution patterns, or plea agreements in that city that favor one race over the other or others, then we would very much want to hear about that, because that would be a due process and equal protection issue and illegal under our federal civil rights laws. And so we'd be interested to hear that. And it's tragic that any American lost their lives to a repeat offender like this. I saw this kind of thing happen regularly in San Francisco, where I lived for almost 25 years. Violent criminals who would prey on the same racial type. For example, in that city, elderly Asian Americans were frequently the targets of violent crime from African American perpetrators, and they were catch and release, let out again and again and again, and in some instances actually killing our elderly citizens in our community. So this is wrong.
At some point, this goes back, this is so repetitive. We could talk about this over and over and over again. At some point, when are we going to say we don't care about Al Sharpton's opinions? When are we going to say we don't care about the NAACP's opinions? When are we going to say we care about human rights? At some point, this is a very sticky situation for the president, because he's looking around and no one is doing anything. And you have defenseless individuals, maybe because of their physical stature, maybe because of the laws that are in place, that they can't defend themselves. When do we as a society say enough is enough? Let me tell you what would have stopped this on that train. There was a black man behind this guy. There was looked like I say maybe possibly a black woman to his right. You know what would have stopped this? Would be a self-defense, lawfully possessed firearm. You know why you don't see a lot of this stuff in the state of Florida where we live? Is because we have the stand your ground law. This is the free state of Florida. There's a sheriff down here called Grady Judd in Polk County, encourages lawful self-defense. And when you venture away from that, this is the results that you get. And we don't have to accept this as a society. We can do better. See you the next show.